Hi guys, just a quick health update. I am in bed, leaning up against my heating pad. It's been a long day. um, I just figured that I would let you guys know what's going on. I did talk to my doctor about my blood work results from last week. My iron is extremely low. I'm extremely anemic, and she told me that she's surprised that I'm even walking around. So, there's that. And all of my red blood counts are really wacky. And my white blood count is extremely high, as if my body is still fighting an infection, and this is after IV broad spectrum antibiotics in the hospital for 36 hours pretty much constantly, and a week's worth of oral antibiotics. So she's a little baffled. So she said that basically the red blood count means that something's bleeding. So we have to figure out from where. It's a little unnerving, a little scary. I do have ulcerative colitis, and I do have GERD, so that's always a concern. So at some point I'm probably going to have to go back to the GI and have some additional studies done. Here's something for you guys who also suffer with some of these issues. I had an upper endoscopy and I had a colonoscopy done a year and a half ago. It didn't show anything. That does not look at your upper intestine, your small intestine. In order to do that, they now have the technology where they have this little capsule-sized camera, and you swallow it and it stays in your system for 48 to 72 hours, and as it passes through your system, it basically takes pictures. So that can be very informative. So, she still hasn't addressed the lump on the side of my neck, which you really can't see it now. It's still a little swollen. It's much better than it was, but when I palpate it, I can still feel it. It doesn't hurt anymore, thankfully. So I'm still seeing the ENT. I think it's the 5th of next week. So that's going on. But, I am concerned about all of these things. I did not test positive for any other autoimmune disorders, thankfully, like Sjogren's. I did not test positive for mono. So all of that is positive. Having chronic health issues and then having something like this happen. I'm just messing with my hair, guys, sorry. And not knowing what the cause is, it's nerve-wracking, and not feeling good on top of it. I don't know if my body is reacting to whatever infection is going on inside of it, but, for the last 3 or 4 days, my biceps and my shoulders are killing me. It could be the fibromyalgia as well. I had to rub myself down pretty good with Bengay last night, and I had to use my heating pad, and I need a bigger one, actually, because I need to try to span both sides of my shoulders. So I kind of take turns with this. I've been taking ibuprofen, but ibuprofen won't even touch it, and I don't want to take anything stronger, because I've got things going on with both of my kids. I don't want to just sleep my life away, Sometimes I do need a muscle relaxer, and if I do, I take it. I do what I gotta do. But I prefer not to take anything that makes me tired and woozy and have brain fog and, impedes my ability to drive. I mean, there's a lot at stake if I can't drive, like what if one of my kids has an emergency? What if my sister has an emergency? What if I have an emergency? I have Medicare, but I don't want to have to pay for an ambulance. Sometimes it's just easier for me to drive myself to the hospital if I'm well enough to, because then I can drive myself back. It's hard when you don't have much of a support system. I mean, I do have a couple very good friends. I've got my sister, but she's older and she doesn't drive because of her disability. My daughter does drive, and she does live close by with her dad, and she does come and stay with me from time to time. But, she's got her own schedule, and I really don't like to bother her. And, sometimes I get released in the middle of the night. So that's not convenient. I'm not going to wake the poor kid up. She's got school and work. and Steve, he lives an hour away, so when he's not with me, I'm not gonna expect him to get up in the middle of the night and drive an hour or so, and he takes medication that helps him sleep, so once he's taken that, he's pretty much out. So it's not easy. I just pray a lot, what else can I do? I just pray to my higher power for strength and to get through this, and I just pray that whatever's going on with me, that there is a solution, and that, he just allows me to be here for as long as possible so I can continue to watch my kids thrive and grow, and experience more of life, and be a good steward and help people, and be a good friend, a good sister, a good mom, and continue to be a good daughter, and even though my parents aren't here, continue to make them proud. All thoughts that are on my mind. So we will see what happens with the next round of blood work. Like I said, she's testing me for a bunch of other things, and based on those results, hopefully we'll have some more answers. She'll know where to refer me. I am scared, I won't lie, I won't sugarcoat, but I'm trying not to get too far ahead of myself. I just wish that I had some stamina and some energy. The problem with me being anemic, I don't absorb iron very well. I've tried to take the slow absorption iron, and the problem is because I have colitis, it bothers my stomach a lot. So I've always had to, in the past, get iron injections, and I'm not sure if my insurance is going to cover that. The hard part is, I'm low income, so Medicare only covers 80%. So, I go to a VNA clinic, which is the Visiting Nurse Association, for those of you who don't know, and the nice thing about them is they take what the Medicare pays as full payment. They don't charge me the extra 20%, because Medicare pays pretty good. But the specialists, they don't care. They just charge you the 20%, and they want it at the visit. That's really hard for me. So if I have to go to a hematologist's office to get these injections, I really don't know how I'm going to pay for it. So that's a big concern. I've had these a couple other times in my life, most notably when I was pregnant with my son. I had to go twice a week, and I did have a copay for that. I had private insurance at that time. And when I was having female problems about 10, 12 years ago, I had to go 3 times a week. And I had to pay for that as well, 20%. So, it is very nerve-wracking, all of this stuff, trying to figure it out. And because I haven't been feeling very well, I haven't really been working much. I worked a few hours on, what day was it, Tuesday. I didn't make very much. I made like $37. Tomorrow morning I'm going to go have the blood drawn. And then I'm hoping that I can, work a couple of hours before I have to pick Matt up from school. Tomorrow he has to do some community service at the high school because he had quite a few absences over the allotment that they're allowed each year. And he was assigned some community service as part of, getting his credit back for the year. The problem with that is that he is in vocational in one town, and the bus from vocational will only drop him at home, not back at the high school. So I have to go do that, and it's about 40 minutes away from the high school. So you do what you gotta do as a mom. So that's what I'm hoping, that I will feel well enough to do that. I have to make a little bit of extra money with all these looming expenses coming up. Somebody had asked me a few days ago, do I have a Medicare supplement? So here's the thing with a Medicare supplement. They're just too expensive on a fixed income. I looked into it, and it was over $200 a month, and there's still co-pays with it. So, I might as well just pay the copays. I just wish that, you know, the doctor's offices would be a little bit more understanding and let me make payments. I'm very lucky that my dental office will let me make payments on whatever balance I have if I can't pay in full. As long as I make payments every month, you know, it's just a rough place to be in financially. And again, like, I do have Steve, but we've only been together a little over a year, and we're not in a place where we're not in that type of relationship like if we were married, that I can lean on him for that sort of support. He is here for me. I don't think he knows what to say half the time, as he's never had to deal with somebody that has these chronic issues. And I feel bad about that too, because I'd like to be, you know, a fun girlfriend that has stamina and can get up and do things all the time. If I do have a good day and we're able to go out and go all day, the next day I'm usually pretty tired and I need to rest. And that's hard for him. It's hard for me too, because I want to be able to go all the time like I could in the past. But anyhow, I'm trying not to dwell on all that. I can only do what I can do. I'm thinking my next video will probably be tomorrow if the sun shines long enough or it stops raining long enough for me to show you my little garden. That's what I'd really like to do. It looks like it's going well so far. We'll see. My little kitchen tomato plant, I guess it was raining so hard that just, I guess from the pounding rain, it kind of broke off. So I feel bad about that. I've got to see what I can do to try to save it. So there's that. Yeah, so I'm focusing on that. Doing what I can do when I feel well enough during the days. Spending time with my pets. I love spending time with my pets. I'm just so grateful that I've got them for comfort, and that, you know, I've got a comfy, warm bed to rest in, and that I do have my sister who helps me a little bit here and there around the house. I'm so grateful that it's not terribly hot. It has actually been pretty cool here. It's 51 right now. I have one of my bedrooms windows open a little bit, and I have the overhead fan. It's been raining a lot the past couple of days. I like listening to it when I try to rest, so I'm thankful for that as well. I'm thankful that God has just allowed me to wake up in the mornings. You know, I mean, I think when you get to be past a certain age, that really is a blessing. Not that I'm old, and I know that, guys. So tomorrow I am just gonna get up, brush my hair, wash my face, brush my teeth, and throw on some clothes and a cap, because I'm clean. I took a nice long hot shower. But, you know, sometimes you have to just do what you gotta do without the glamour, and you guys know that I always say that. So, to be honest with you, I am pretty tired, so to spend like an hour or more getting ready, you know, for the world, is not really in my bag of tricks. So, I hope you guys are all well. I thank all of my new subscribers and my current subscribers for supporting me and for encouraging me. There haven't been a lot of comments on my videos lately, and that's okay. I understand everybody's busy, but I do ask you guys to please like the videos, because that does help the algorithm. It does help my channel grow. You know, I know that sometimes the talking head videos are not entertaining, but I like to keep you guys updated. So that's really where I'm at. Yeah. So I'm gonna get a couple hours sleep right now. And again, I hope all of you guys are doing well. Please share, like, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. And as always, I am sending love from New Jersey. Okay, guys, be well. Bye.